Hi, I'm Jordan. This is my dad, Jim, the grumpy plumber. Today, we're gonna help all those buyers out there who are interested in buying a house. As a buyer, we're gonna help you look at the home through the eyes of a plumber to figure out how much the plumbing may cost you if you buy the house, the good and the bad. We're gonna start off with going into an old house first, then we're gonna talk about a new house. This is the plumbing items in an old house.
Well, the first thing I think about is it on city sewer or is it on a septic? And if it's an old house, that's one thing you want to make sure you check out. You might want to check out the lateral run into the main sewer line of the city. You might have the septic tank checked out. That's a big cost item on it.
So that's the sewer lateral. And it depends on what state you're in and the city you're in. Sometimes the seller has to give you an inspection on that, show you the condition of the sewer lateral before they sell, but every city and state's different. So as a buyer, be aware of those two major items.
Right. Another thing, when you come in, if it's an old house, you probably got eyes of you're going to have to remodel it and stuff. So if you're going to live in it right away, you want things to work. You don't want it to be so bad like mold or soft floors, unless you're really getting a good deal. But you want to look at that stuff. You want to make sure that the fixtures are still attached to the wall. You don't have, you look at a wall and you see it's all wet and stuff. That's stuff that got to be taken care of right away. You don't want to live with that.
How about the water heater?
Water heater, that's the thing too. Sometimes you go in these old houses, they might have water heaters that are 30 years old. Everything like this, I want to say, is negotiable. Okay, so you just got to know in your mind that this is what you're buying.
Yeah, the house we're sitting in right here, we had a 30-year-old gas water heater. Well, it didn't work great. It worked though. Could work probably another 30 years. The thermostat on it wasn't working and you could hear it percolating as you're sitting in the living room.
Right.
So it worked fine for 3 months, but it wasn't something long-term we could live with.
But you probably might want to walk through the builder, especially if you're really serious about this thing. You got to look at it because, a lot of people buy houses, that have problems.
Mm-hmm. So if they're looking to remodel an old house, what's the most expensive thing for remodeling it as a plumbing standpoint?
Oh, redoing the complete bathrooms and putting new drain lines in. If the house got a basement, under it, that makes the plumbing much easier to do. If it's got a crawl space, it's more time consuming and hard work on it. But yeah, you want to make sure things are halfway decent. And if you're thinking about buying it, you can do one room at a time. Every house I've ever bought, I do it one room at a time. I don't gut the house all at one time. I just do it a little bit at a time.
So it's a big thing for a remodel. If the bathroom is in the right layout that you like, then it probably won't be very costly. No. But if you want to move the toilet, move the sink, move the shower, yes, it's going to cost you more money.
Right, yeah, definitely.
How about for a new house? What should a buyer look at for a new house when it comes to plumbing items?
Well, first you're going to look at the price. You're going to walk in and look at it. So if you're coming in and you're buying say a track house kind of a thing, it's going to be more competitive fixtures. But you want to make sure.
What are competitive fixtures? What are some examples?
Cheaper. Okay, not a name for cheaper.
What brand name?
Well, if it's got Moen or Delta in it, that's usually two of the more competitive, but are very good. There's nothing wrong with them. They're good. They last and stuff on it. Everything's updated, like all the shower valves now, I believe here across the United States have to be what we call pressure balance, so you can't scald yourself on them. The kitchen sink faucets are usually single handle. Everything goes single handle on it. Garbage disposals are probably an InSinkErator, but it's just a lower series of garbage disposal. Water heaters are water heaters. Doesn't matter if you have a Rheem, America, A.O. Smith. They're really the same water heater. Even now, they even got the same controls. The only thing different on them is the name. That's all there is. So there's not much there to look for on it. If it's a well, you want to know the depth of the well. How big of a pump is on it. If you got a little half-horse pump and it's very deep, you're not going to get good water pressure or good volume of water, on it. So things like that you want to look at.
How about an expensive house, like a really nice
house?
If
you walk into a good quality house that's been remodeled and stuff, you want to look and see if they're using good plumbing fixtures. A lot of times I watch some of these TV shows and they're very expensive houses, and I look at the cheap fixtures I got in it. I'm thinking, that's the last thing you want to buy is a cheap toilet, some brand name toilet and Delta and Moen faucets when you're paying a high end for the bathroom, fixtures in the bathroom. Same thing with the kitchen sink. You don't want a low end garbage disposal, you want a bigger one. Same thing with the appliances. You want to know what you're buying on that stuff. You look at the house and it's lovely, but you also look at things that, down the road might be replaced. It's expensive to replace a shower valve when it's already in the wall, things like that. So look at that.
If you have a horror story about buying a house and having a horrible plumbing instance or plumbing situation, leave a comment down below. Or anything you think Jim missed, leave a comment below. He loves feedback. He really does, everybody.
I love answering your questions.
So thanks so much for watching. Check out his other videos for more plumbing help around the house.
If you don't believe me, ask the real estate agent.